just love having a tear up, basically, especially if it's legal as well. You know, you're not going to get in trouble, but yeah, it's just fun, really. I've just watched boxing, you know, most of my life as well. I always want to find out when the next big fights are coming up. Even that's why I stuck all these pictures on the wall as well, just so I look at, hopefully I'll be in one of them places. Not the guy getting beaten up though, the guy that's giving out the beating. So you just might see like a random person, but I look at them, I see gladiators, warriors and stuff like that, and that's kind of what inspires me to hopefully be like them someday, isn't it, really?
When you get to that next level, it becomes more serious in your life. And like, where a lot of people go 2-3 years at college not getting paid or whatever, maybe this could be my college course in boxing. So look at it as an apprenticeship in boxing, not getting paid. If all goes well and to plan what we're hoping, I'll be a top boxer.
This is the Amateurs, the training ground for professional boxers. George Kean and Marlon Mellish have been selected by the Amateur Boxing Association to box for the London team. If they do well for London, they can think about building a future on the England team. But success can also mean the difference between prospect or journeyman, professional boxers paid to take a beating in the ring. Georgie is a junior novice boxer. This is his 6th competitive bout, and it's a final.
Listen, whatever he is, whether he's southpaw, orthodox or something else, you're there now, you've got to deal with it.
Plans to just put loads of pressure on him, throw combinations, move off, just in and out, don't stay there, but I don't think he'll be able to live with my power.
It was me at first that, you know, thought it's a good thing for Georgie to box. I mean, originally, in my mind, it was just learn how to hold your hands up because, you know, if one day on the street someone does something horrible to you, at least you can hold your hands up and have a go back. But Georgie's got everything. He's got a good chin, he's got a good heart. You know, I love it, especially being my son as well.
Introducing in the blue corner, representing Times ABC, Georgie Kean.
I know it sounds horrible, but you want to knock that kid out. I know it really does sound horrible, but I'd be happy to see him on the floor, not being able to get up, because that shows that you've done something good.
The referee's got the contest, the winner and champion Irish champion, Kean in the blue corner.
I think it's just in people. I mean, I'm a quiet kid anyway, and a lot of people wouldn't think that it's in me, but like, I didn't even really know it was in me, to be honest. But then when I started knocking kids out, you think, hang about, what's going on here? And then you just like keep on going.
He don't need guiding, Marlon. He's sort of like he's got an old head. You couldn't really tell him, you know, what to do. He wanted to come to boxing, I think. Maybe it's because he wanted to be that sort of male company. Maybe he didn't have it at home.
Class B, under 60 kilogram, national finalist with a score of 24-20, Mellish in the red corner.
It's good to get someone to start, and then as you go along you get better at it, and the more you improve, the more you enjoy it, and you think, oh, I'm actually doing something here. Marlon was just saying the other day that it controls your aggression, because if you go in the ring and you lose your temper, well, I've done it, and it didn't last very long.
My dad, surprisingly, he was a boxer as well. It weren't like he was a professional, from what I know of anyway. I think he was just an amateur boxer. Sometimes I do wish, like, you know, I had my dad in my life to, like, you know, be in the gym with me, maybe even help me out as well in the gym, but he was just really never there in my life.
There was a good side of him where he could be
there
a good
was a
influence,
really nice side
but then there was
to
another
him.
side to him which wasn't very nice.
Yeah.
And I think if you're growing up and you've got that person who's got the horrible side of them quite a lot, it can change your personality.
Yeah.
And really, when you left, you did the right thing, really, because you know he's turned out to be a
nice
lovely
kid.
young man.
Yeah. Yeah. So his dad was in his life up until he was 4, but then after that, I practically brought him up on my own.
And it was basically, you had to leave, didn't you? It wasn't a fact if you wanted to, you had to go.
Yeah, yeah.
Because of the things that were going on.
Yeah,
so.
give me no choice, really.
Yeah, basically.
First of all, you know, it was like I had a lot of anger in me. I was like really aggressive and that. Like, if anyone called me a bastard, I just didn't know how to react. It's like I'll just go like completely mad. It was stupid, really. Like, but that's how I used to go. I feel a bit bitter, to be honest, about it. You know, I don't want to listen to like my mum talk about him, just because the things he done, really, innit? Like, you know, I don't respect him for that. The thing is, I think when you box, like, you've got people around you, they're cheering you on, and it's proper good. Like, that's what I think. That's what I wanted to be involved with as well. Like, the boxers, they've got respect for each other. It's like them two boxers in that ring create that big atmosphere, like all this cheering and everything like that. And then at the end, you know, they shake hands and they've got respect for each other. I've always had this like vision as well. Like it's always in my head. Like I've got the WBC belt, and I've dropped to like my knees and I'm just like looking at it. I don't know. It's like it's a strong image. Like that's just in my head, and I feel it could come true. Like if I carry on doing what I'm doing.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Bout number 14, it's a Class B Senior Novices Final.
Marlon is a senior novice boxer.
Representing the Times Amateur Boxing Club, Marlon Mellish. In the blue corner,
His 15th competitive bout is also his first final.
Senior Novices Champion, 60 kilos, Tops in the blue corner. And your appreciation, please, for Mellish in the red corner.
That king's a cool as well.
Obviously, they don't score body shots then.
They don't score anything.
Never.
They can't score a fucking football match. He's just been well.
No, don't feel sad with yourself, mate. You done well there. You done good, mate.
I didn't.
You did, mate. You done well. Listen, you done good, mate. Honestly.
I don't know what anyone else thought. I thought 1-1.
I proper thought I was going to win. I was nervous, but I thought I was going to win. I couldn't picture myself losing. Just to think that, yeah, you've lost. Like, you lost the final. Just fucking feel devastated. It's boxing is my life. Like, I love boxing. Could never give it up. You know, it makes me happy.
I've had Kean here, David Hayes, all the champions. And I thought, what a good idea if you can train young boys from the East End that could bring out and do the same sort of thing, but not for world champions, for amateur clubs. And I do enjoy it, put it that way.
Keep going. Come on, Jules, fight that. Let's go, man. Come on. Last one, boys. If you can push yourself and do it here and come back a winner, when you get in that ring, you've got it. That's it. Come on. That's it. That's what. Come on. There's not many clubs that come here and do what we're doing, and we're giving that little bit of edge. Come on. Last one, boys. When they do lose, that's a matter of going back to the drawing board and trying again and pushing yourself more. Is it this one? Yeah. You've got pace setters, which are quite quick. You've got the boys that are just behind that want to catch up with the pace setters. You've got the boys behind the boys who want to catch up with the pace setters and want to catch up with them. So it's all competitive. Everybody's chasing each other, and I'm right at the back. Keep going. Fucking hard this. Go. Yeah.
Top reps undercover.
No, keep it on him. Switched off.
There's a lot of ways of boxing. You can either be a good amateur, and the highest accolade of that is fight for your country, or if you're above the rest, turn pro, you can get a good living out of it, or if you're very, very good, you can be a champion. But you get 20 boys down there, one of them must come through with something. Come on, hands off cocks, on socks. Come on. Everyone's got the dream, innit? It's a dream. I'm going to dream of being a champion. But there's that moment when they know they ain't going to make it, and it's time to think for their own good. What are you going to do? You happy and smiling or what? Yeah. Oh no, let's all be happy. Looking forward to it, running your bollocks off. Come on, pain.
The Times Amateur Boxing Club has been teaching kids for 40 years. Colin Wilson has just returned to the amateurs after training professionals. He's looking for the next top prospect.
He's going to bleed from time to time. He's obviously got a little scab in there that keeps coming up. But sparring like that, you're going to shed a little bit of blood. mean, I'm the only one in this gym who's had anything to do with pro boxing, as in the trainers. I mean, my dad was obviously a pro trainer, my brother's a current professional now. I was going to turn professional, but even when I was an amateur, I trained to be a professional because that's when the real rewards come. You've got to get the balance right, and when they turn pro, they won't have to take 4 or 5 years adapting to the new style. You know, with a little bit of maturity, 2 or 3 years into their pro careers, a bit of luck, they'll be well-rounded, and that's what we're working on.
Right, last little bit, jump in, boys. Just a little bit of toughening the stomachs up.
You can do this all your
Collins, if it weren't for him really, I don't reckon I'll be where I am, because he's taught me a lot of things, and I won't always take the praise for it. I mean, Colin, for my success so far, I couldn't praise him enough.
You up for it?
George has got more killer instinct than me, and I think if George weren't around, I don't think I would be as motivated. Because you think, you know, you're still catching up to him. I mean, he's done some amazing things. Like, you know, I was boxing from when I was like young, like, and then he's just come on the scene, and you know, he's just winning this, winning that. So I'm just really trying to stay up with him.
Then Marlon Mellish? Yeah. Do you want to come on through?
Okay. Just comes over the top. You'll receive our images. Nice and still for us. Close your eyes for me a moment.
Boxing is actually very nerve-wracking, especially before you go into a fight. And then when I always speak to Marlon before he goes into his fight, and Marlon sometimes he's nervous. To be honest, he spoke to me about whether he's gonna take this boxing as a career path or just have it as a hobby. And sometimes he's actually said, you know what? To be honest, I don't want to take it as a career. He started to have like a I don't know if it was a head injury, or he started feeling a bit faint when he come home and stuff, and that could have a long-term effect on him, which he was a bit 50-50 with.
Sorry, nearly took your ears off.
But then at the end of the day, his heart's in boxing. He's grown up doing boxing. He knows nothing but boxing. Do you know what I mean?
Sometimes you can fight somebody that, you know, you can jab and move and you can keep them at distance. Others, you're just drawn into a battle.
Get in.
It's just a matter of trying to will them on to carry on doing what they're doing and not change anything. Marlon outside the ring is one of the nicest people you want to meet, and for him to walk away from a sport that a lot of people get pleasure in him watching him box, you know, it'd be a sad thing.
This was the first medal I've ever got. I think I was like 8 when I got this, and we was boxing down Smithfield Meat Market, and it was an open show, and I was just a kid. It was just like an exhibition bout. This one I lost. It was on the Tottenham and Enfield show, and he threw the shot. The brain has hit the back of the skull, and caused me to have bruising a bit on the back of the skull, innit? So, like, I started getting a stomach ache, and then I started getting these really bad headaches and that, and then I started just throwing up and being sick like everywhere, and it was just like I was like drunk, like I was just all blurred and I was just all walking about the place. I didn't really think much about the dangers of boxing really that much, but I think that knocked me down like to reality really. Like I think that's what it done.
Kean and Marlon.
Obviously, I've got like a lot more strength to come when I grow into a man, but I know in myself now, and like, I've shown to my dad and that I can handle it and mix it with the geezers. So it sort of made me a bit more confident to go on and fight anyone really.
Sometimes we find things on the scans which preclude you, which stop you from being able to fight. So there's nothing on the brain scan under current regulations which would stop you from being able to fight. So that's good news from your perspective.
Yeah.
And you're still wanting to be a boxer?
Yeah.
Still committed?
Yeah.
Can't persuade you against?
No. Never. I was really feeling up to like my last fight. I was thinking, you know, maybe I should just quit, just from all the injuries and that. I mean, I've been watching like my fights over and over again, and I just think, you know, sometimes I might get a bit lazy and that. I don't think there will be nothing wrong though. You know, I feel right, really. I like to box. So even if I'm just like a journeyman that goes in there and just, you know, just takes beatings, but, you know, and still enjoys it, I'll be doing that. I think you've got to do your job, you've got to have work, but then you've got to have a bonus as well to make money, innit? So that would probably be like my little bonus, like my little bit on the side, really, innit?
This year, Marlon qualifies as an open class boxer. It's the sport's elite level.
That's the main thing. Every time he comes home, I'm just glad that he's all right. And that's why I prefer not to go. And, you know, he comes home with the tape and I know he's there and he's fine, and then I can watch it and relax and, you know, enjoy it.
Marlon has been struggling to maintain his usual fighting weight. He goes up to 63 kilos for the first time.
Do your best, mate. Your best will be enough.
He's not elusive. Every shot he's like, boom, boom.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
one
Just think,
time.
bang, get nice and fucking keep all that movement going.
Yeah, that's what your game. All that movement, little
Yeah.
combinations, counter punching, skip around him inside.
Mark, you want this, don't you? Yeah.
Been training for fights, but every fight counts for this, so that's what it's all come down to. It's all come down to this. Woo! Everything I've learned, everything I've used and that in the ring, that's what I'm going to bring in the ring.
Just don't rush it, Marlon. It'll come back.
Yeah.
Right, boys.
Just got to be switched on, Mark. Oh, you've got this for taking now, mate. It's fucking tight. So his punches are coming round slower. You all right, Mark?
I mean, to be honest.
Huh? What? Just go back to the drawing board, mate. I know, mate, I know. Don't let it fucking depress you, Mark. Quality, mate. You've done your best in there. You've done everything you could do. All that hard training was worth it, mate. You've done the best you could do. Thank God you ain't got a mark on you. The only thing that's hurt is your pride, and you know that's amateur boxing. But you know we've got to pick ourselves up and ride again.
Look for the next fight.
You know, it's just gutting, mate. I know how you feel, and that's just it, isn't it, mate? There's nothing else we can do.
You know, I felt I've given up like my whole year like for fucking to try and win and to win the whole thing and that. And even though preparations ain't gone too well, you know, I've had to go up a weight and that, and you know, I still couldn't manage to pull it off. But I don't know. Really, I just feel I have to go back on rest and see how I feel.
I was together with his mum, and unfortunately things happened, and we split up, and the kids stayed with me. There was a lot of upset at the beginning, a lot of sadness and that, you know, on kids' behalf. But we managed and we got through. I like to think I'm like any other dad, but obviously it's been a lot harder with me because of the situation I was put in. But I'll do anything for my kids. You know, I want to try and make their life, my kids' lives, the best life that they can have.
If my dad didn't do what he did, I wouldn't be boxing, and the story. That's how much he does for me. Everything. He's closest to watching the fight, so he sort of feels the punches as well. I know he does worry for me a lot when I fight, but it's the name of the game. I don't think I'm going to get hurt in boxing, but if it comes, you sort of got to take it. Boxing's a fight. You want to see two kids throwing shots equally, not one running away and one chasing them down the ring. It's just like they're robbing you for your money, really, at the end of the day. And you want to see like two honest fighters get in there and fight it out to be champion. At the end of the day, it's a job. If you're a boring fighter, then you're not going to pull in like the punters, so you've got to be exciting.
The amount of people that have just made an effort to come and watch him, you know, it just makes me feel such a proud dad that, you know, there's a lot of people out there that like him. You know, and he's the type of kid as well, you know, if he does succeed today, he'll go round and thank each and every one of them for coming to support him today. And, you know, just pray to God that he comes out victorious today, because, you know, he'll be more over the moon than I will. I mean, that's... It's always in the back of your mind that they're going to get hurt. When he seems to get in, he seems to cope really well. And, you know, obviously when things go well, you know, it makes me feel a little bit more at ease. You know, you just don't know.
First round.
Yeah, this is our sort of fight out.
Don't show your tiredness, just walk past. Just look like a winner, mate. Don't show no tiredness there, George. Just fucking, that's it. Don't worry about it. It's over.
The winner going through by a majority decision, running in the red corner.
You want to have a shower, George? Hey? No? It's fucking hard, mate, isn't it? I know. It's an horrible feeling. You've had that feeling before. You know what I mean? Just...
I could have like moved my head a lot more instead of letting my emotions run high and trying to jump all over him. I knew that if I'd have won that fight, I would have been in the final because there was no one in the semi. So things like that run through your head and like, but you've got to sort of calm yourself down and think about things. Every time I think about it, I get a sick feeling in my stomach. It's as if someone's died in my family, like, just I don't know, man. And, like, people might just say, oh, it's only a fight, but it ain't. This is what I want to do. I look at it as just, like, it's my career, my future. That's why I want to get out there and prove everyone wrong that I can still, like, win things next year.
When I used to teach Taekwondo, obviously, and years ago, obviously, when the kids was younger, I wanted them all to do the sport that I taught. I think he might have been about 4 or 5, he was there. And I think he got to the stage of a yellow belt. And he went in the competition, I remember. It was quite funny. He was he's like a little miniature in it, and he was just kicking away. Like, it was a good fight, and I thought he won it, to be truthful. And at the end of the fight, when they finished, they raised the other kid's hand. And it was like from an happy kid turning to like a kid in distress. He just cried his eyes out, and it was horrible to see. I mean, because I was sitting on the sides and I got upset watching him cry, and you have to cuddle him and say, George, you won that, you know you won that.
Scouts have selected Marlon and George to box for London. It's the first time both will be fighting for the Amateur Boxing Association. It also means new coaches in their corner.
Dat doen we voor ons eigen Oranje, het team van Nederland.
The boys know what they've got to do. Stop them. No, they've got to box really well, you know. Got to be overwhelming.
Come on, George!
George is bout number 6.
Straight.
Halfway through the night, and London are still looking for their first win. The Dutchman takes the first points, even though it's George who's landing the cleaner shots.
Good boy.
Fucking unbelievable.
Come on, ref.
Stay on him, George. That's it. Good boy. That's it. Lovely shot. And again, George.
Slip your way in. Slip your way in.
I said big left hooks, George. Keep him in there.
At the end of round 2, George is caught square, and the ref gives him a standing count. Now he's got just 3 minutes to make 10 points.
You've got to keep working. Come on. Get that jab going, George.
Keep whacking him in, George. Keep whacking him in.
Good shot, and again. Come on, George, you got to go for it, mate. That's it, step on him.
Good, just stay on him.
Stay on him, George.
Good
That's
shot.
it, good boy.
Keep bending and moving your head, coming in. Come on, what are you waiting for? Come on, tidy, George, just go. Zero in on him. Come on, George.
George digs deep.
Keep it going, George. Shot, and again. Keep it going, George. Come on, work. Yes. Keep it going, George. Keep going. Keep going, George. Shot. Everything, George. Come on, everything. Keep it going. Come on, everything. Shot, and again.
Come on, George.
En dat was de bal van de laatste ronde, waarin de Engelsman George
It's the London team's 6th loss on the trot. Even the Dutch coach thinks the judges are overly biased.
Scoring, it's going their way more than ours, and they've just got to be bullies now. We've just got to go in and be aggressive, you know.
En natuurlijk,
Marlon does know better. The night is slipping away. Now the London team are on tilt. About 9. The Londoner's nose is split wide open after a clash of heads.
Horseshoe. I think it's the horseshoe we got there.
The names to go on my list.
Have they got coaches, haven't they? Georgie's got a very good potential. I mean, you don't expect boys to be at the top of it all the time. He's been under a tremendous lot of pressure since he won the junior office, and he's gone right away through. So he's a little bit of a blip. That can happen to all boxers. I think it's just about us to recognise that, knowing that he has the talent.
This was when I went out training with the professionals in Tenerife. That's Vinny Mitchell. Brother Kevin Mitchell, he's British champion now, Commonwealth champion, and he'll be world champion soon. That's Nicky Crooks, world champion. Just me with Kevin and Vinny Mitchell. They just said, like, keep on going. Like, if you lose, it don't really matter.
Boxing, the amateur boxing club has always been to get the kids off the streets. In my days, there was a lot of competition. There was football, cricket, all played in the streets, which is, you don't get anymore. I mean, now you can't play cricket in the street, you can't play football in the street. You have to belong to a club, and boxing was always a place where people was going and doing their scrapping. And I think it does, give them that bit of security that they become a part of a community by boxing for their clubs and also boxing for their cities and also boxing for obviously England.
I'm not being bad, but you know, you look around the ring at these judges, and these judges are old men. Like, you know, you think, I know they've got experience and that, don't get me wrong, but it's like are they seeing the punches? Are they seeing the punches land? You just don't know what they're seeing, but probably half of them are blind as well. But just because it's close, it kind of winds you up a bit more. I don't know, if you feel like you're totally outclassed and you just think, oh yeah, the boy's good, but if you just feel like you're that close to like winning, it kind of does your head in.
The Spirit of London Awards celebrates the achievements of young people.
So thank you to me, Mum. Thank you to
Exactly.
everybody.
Thanks,
Thank
God.
You
God for making things possible.
That's it. No, good luck to you.
Marlon was put forward for the Sports Award by his club.
You'd be right. It just come natural when you go there, Mar. You're good at talking, so you'd be fine.
We are very proud to sponsor
this particular award. The winner of the Achievement Through Sport award goes to Marlon Mellish.
It's got to be like the first thing I think I've won this season. Most of all, I want to thank my trainers, Alan Kean, Colin Wilson. I just want to thank all of them. You know, they put a lot of work and dedication into me. You know, amateur boxing ain't a paid sport. You know, it's you know, we're all doing it like to, you know, because we want to be like where we want to be in the future. I'm going on a bit. I'm sorry. Take care. Yeah, thanks a lot. Thanks for having me. Yeah, take care.
A couple of weeks later, George and Marlon get a last-minute call-up for England. The friendly is against Scotland.
Marlon Mellish.
But their selection is also a trial for a regular place on the England team.
George, looking for the limelight. Get yourself in here, George. Get your vest. Come and get off with government.
Hi, Georgie. You're all very talented boxers, and that's why you're here today. You're representing England ABA, different to club level. You're boys now, we're looking forward now to moving up. Okay, tonight we want to beat the Scotch.
I tell you what, you know, this parenting thing, this has got to be the best thing for me. Apart from them when all my kids was born, this is the next proudest moment for me. You know, like Georgie, like boxing for his country, that's the best thing that's ever happened. You know, it's just brilliant. I can't wait. Marlon, you know, I've been a bit sort of over the top saying he's like a son to me, but, you know, he is in a way. I've been with Marlon sort of 12 years now, like training with him and being around him, so I suppose I feel like a dad to him.
When they started boxing, put gloves on, this is obviously the end of the rainbow for them, boxing for their country internationally. I feel proud to just be involved with them and to see them, you know, and to be personally responsible for some of their development. Me and Alan are not going to be in a corner because obviously the England trainers do the England internationals, which is a shame, but they're experienced boys, they're good enough to deal with any situation, and I'm sure it won't really make a difference because of their talent.
Take a picture.
Get me cock out,
That's the better one.
That's the one.
That's the fucking, look, that's the geezer.
See, I
It means a lot. This one is for England, so it means everything.
Marlon returns to the England corner, down on points. It's up to the England coach to help him find a way back.
Come on, Mark! Let's go!
boys.
Sorry, I'm going to get the win for
Well done to them.
No, but we've always said, didn't we? You've done your best. You know you've done your best. Really all right, no problem, yeah. All right. Someway, he's a good fighter.
Yeah, he's a good
He's
boy.
not wearing that vest or give him that vest.
Yeah, it's really nice of you to do that. And he's
And he's going to go further, don't worry about that. Only about it, we've got Sweden, we've got Ireland, there's a lot of matches coming. Alright?
Down his chest! Down his chest now! Don't let him rock you!
As the seconds tick away in the last round, the scores are close. Outside the ring, tempers are fraying. Members of the Times Club have been denied access to their boxes and are taking their frustration out on the ABAE officials.
The big geezer over there, ain't stopped effing and blinding, big tall bloke, yeah? Went up to the Scotsman and said, you never fucking won that fight. I said, who you talking to? He went, all you lot fucking that, ABAE. I didn't think it was like that at times. They've got a right fucking mob there, mate.
I show you appreciation of both boxers, thank you. To unanimous decision, Kean in the red corner is the winner.
Oh, I'll tell you what. Would you hear everyone, George?
We don't take no shit! Yeah! We don't fuck about!
Ladies and gentlemen, please show appreciation and
Fuck all the England. This is the fucking governor. This is the governor!
Dear Mrs Stretfield, a complaint has been received regarding the behaviour of members of your club at the England v Scotland International, Royal Lancaster Hotel, 23rd of November 2009. You will note that this complaint, bringing the sport into disrepute, was also made against the Times Boxing Club and its supporters in general.
There were a lot of people who said and done things they wouldn't normally have done, but there were reasons for it from our behalf. I mean, what really done it was obviously me being told that I can't have any input, and you know, it's a slap in the face really, considering we've got two lads representing England. I'd like to think that, you know, me and Alan and people like have had some involvement in it, and we'd like to feel that we've got the right to talk to them. And you know, I got a bit over the top trying to make my case, and he didn't like it, you know, and I said a few things back to him that he probably didn't like it equally. But that does happen. And I won't ever do it again, because obviously I don't want it to be causing this much of a fuss. We're grown men. One geezer tells me I can't do something, I call him something, that's it, it should be over. I don't see why he's got to, you know, take it out on boys that are not even involved, you know, or the club. The club, it's not the club's fault.
You know, when I see Colin and he started calling you know, the Keith Waters, you know, a cunt and that, and it just, you know, I just thought, why are you sort of doing it? I think it's just disrespectful, really, and Keith Waters might think, why should we pick George and Marlon again if they're going to bring that sort of support?
The Boxing Hour with Steve Bunce. Only on BBC London 94.9.
What's happened the last 7 days, Ron? You're the only one that can tell me.
All right, last 7 days, England boxed Scotland on Monday night.
I heard it was a little bit lively at the hotel afterwards. I heard one or two of the people had too many light towels.
Well, strangely enough, yeah, you're right, unfortunately.
Yeah.
One pub in particular got a little bit excited.
Yeah,
and,
the times were right for them, as they say.
Yeah, no, it was really bad news, Steve.
Yeah,
and,
go on.
And one of their lads had boxed absolutely brilliant. The kid that you like, George Kean.
Yeah.
You know, first international, does what he does, walks out and lets them go for 9 minutes.
Yeah.
Really
Exciting
entertaining
kid.
fighter. Yeah, really exciting kid.
I can't really remember too much about the performance because so much was going on. After that night, when we got out of the ring and that, straight away my thoughts was I'm leaving the club, I'm going to go somewhere else. So I was just so pissed off with it all and so embarrassed and so like thinking, oh, this club's just gone down the drain now, you know what I mean? And I think we have lost a lot of respect.
Colin is called in by the ABA to answer for his actions. This year's Open Championships begin in a month.
Just got to sign that there.
Yeah, it didn't go too well, unfortunately. I've got an 18-month ban. Only 3 months of it is effective. The rest of it's been suspended, which is apparently, according to him, it was a really lenient version of what it could have been. It's unfortunate because I want to get back down there and get stuck in because there's people that need me and there's people that I enjoy helping out. This is like my, this is part of my life, but unfortunately, they don't think I'm ready to come back now. We're going to miss the ABAs. I don't like sitting on the sidelines watching work that I've done be pushed down the toilet. I want to be back down there doing it. So they've forced another person out of the game, unfortunately for them, but good luck to them.
It'd be hard at first, but it won't take long for them to settle in. It's like anything, isn't it? You move from an old job to a new job, it's the same sort of thing. So, I don't know, I just wish that none of this had happened and I just wish that, we was all still as we was here, but, I would have thought there's a lot of clubs that would hold their hands open to get them in their club because, they're both good kids and both hard workers and, they can only benefit by having them two in their club.
Good look underneath. Keep it tight, Michael. Good little clip. Good little move, Marlon. That's it. Make him miss first. It ain't a rush. It ain't a race. George and Marlon sparring with Michael Grant. Good work. Who's a former ABA champion. He's got an English title fight in 2 weeks' time. Very, very good professional fighter, yeah. And the two boys are doing really well with him. Same as you always do, just nice and relaxed, yeah? Don't chase after him, though, yeah? Hey, Mick?
Just like all amateurs, George and Marlon will have to develop their ring craft if they are to become professional boxers.
Tighten up a little bit, George. That's it, mate. Two good prospects, I think, the pair of them. And I'd like to think that they'll both turn pro after the ABAs. See how we go. Looking more like a pro, yeah? Instead of a rush amateur, you're looking more like a pro, which is what our intentions are, isn't it, yeah? All right? Good boy.
If I didn't do boxing, I don't know, I probably just would have kept playing football and lived a normal life. But where I'm doing boxing, I want to be as big and as rich and famous as I can. I mean, I just don't want to be a geezer who's working, being a plumber every day or whatever until he's 65, just living a normal life or whatever. I don't want to do none of that. I want to be the best I can in life. Sometimes you hear stories of people turning over when they're 22, 23. some you hear when they're 18 or whatever. That's all that's been going through my mind really, thinking, is it time to turn over?
You alright, mate? Hey, how'd you feel? Yeah, you want to be sick? No, you alright?
I ain't very sharp.
Shut up, get on with it. Keep moving.
Move, George, get out of the corner.
Hello. All right. Yeah, he just boxed. Yeah, he got beat. He felt sick when he was in there. Like every time he was getting hit on the body, he felt like he was going to be sick. So.
I don't know, maybe it's an issue with the weight, maybe I didn't do it right. Who knows, it's a learning curve, but Colin knew me in and out. So that's why it was always good having him in the corner, you know. When I'm in the gym, if I weren't training hard or whatever, or if I said I had a day off when I didn't, he knows, you know, so. But I think now I'm just going to rest. You know, I'm an 18-year-old kid, I ain't been out. The last drink I had was like on New Year's Eve. I mean, I ain't saying drinking's everything, but I just feel, I don't know.
George, come here, mate. Fucking love you, mate. Tell you, it fucking broke my heart seeing you box like that. You right, mate? You know I've always loved you, mate. Honestly, what I've done that show. Come here, George, put your arm around me, mate. Fucking honestly, mate, it was the worst mistake I ever made doing that. George, your uncle just told me what you're saying, and I fucking... George. Let's get back there. Let's get back, yeah? Yeah?
Now I've realised, you know, winning ain't everything in amateur boxing. It's the taking part and then just leaving it up to the judges. It's good to get a win on paper and all that, and when people ask for your record, but, you know, to be honest, I don't really care about that. Like, my record is, like, tarnished. I think it's the occasion, really. I think fighting in front of, like, 3,000 people with, like, you know, the 2 big screens, and it's just getting bigger and bigger. So, you know, you're just buzzing because you got that opportunity. I think that's what I enjoyed the most.
Boxing, come on, get your heads up.
You know, sometimes it's better to lose than to win as well, because the winning ones, you know, it just massages your ego sort of thing. It just makes you think, yeah, I'm a really good boxer, I beat this person. But the losing, you think, what did I do wrong to lose that fight? And you go home, and I've just been thinking about it, and just thinking about how I'm going to change my style.
Right, ease off, back to boxing. Come on, smart now, long jabs.
it's just learning. It's learning, ain't it? So I'm just learning from it.
Right, young man. What weight category are you in?
60.
Number 5.
Okay, 59.90.
How'd you feel? Good. Hey, legs? Good. Right, you've got the energy, right? You've got to fucking move on them feet, right? Don't let them come in tight to you.
He's on top of me.
I know he is, yeah, so you've got to move, right? Keep moving. That's it. That's it, move and pack. Marlon, keep moving. Come on, Marlon, get up. Straight hand, Mark.
Majority decision, Mellish.
I think I'm just doing everything right, really. I think down at TKO gym, what they've taught me as well, just throw your jab when you're in range, and that's what I was thinking about most of the time. Throw your punches when you're in range. A lot of my fights, I'm overextending my arms, I'm reaching in, and I'm getting caught as well. He didn't really catch me that much when there was that little distance.
The London finals are set over 2 days at the York Hall Bar. In the semis, Marlon does enough to convince 3 out of the 4 judges. The final takes place 3 years after Marlon lost the novice title in the same venue.
Come down today, give Marlon a bit of backup, a little bit of support. Hopefully, it means something to him, you know, and he knows he's got the support and the backup of his family. I know his mum would want to be here, but she just can't stand the thought of watching him fight. I think she wants to get in there and have a go at the fella with her shoe, probably. So I'm her ears and eyes, and hopefully it'll make her proud, but more than that, it'll make himself proud, and he can be pleased with himself about it. That's what it means for him. It's give him a sort of direction in life. You know, whether something will come out of it at the end of the day, it might not, but as I said, me and Alan was saying to him earlier, but in 10 years' time, in 15 years' time, he'd be able to tell his kids what he did. You know, that he fought at York Hall Barbs, that he fought for England, you know, and he did all these things, and he went to these different places, and there were all these different experiences that, let's face it, 99% of the population of this country never get the chance to have them feelings and them highs and them lows.
Oh, no mistakes, Ma. This is it, mate, all right?
Sector, first round.
Good boy. Listen, he's getting his success. As soon as he pushes you on the road, that's where he's getting his success, all right? You've got to stay in the middle, all right? When he comes here, step off the side, all right? You're fucking picking him off all day long with that jab, all right? So you've got to stay in the fucking middle, all right? And keep moving. Good. There you go. Good shot. Ma, you're not listening to me, mate. You can't let him get you on them fucking ropes. Wash your mouth out. Paul. Yeah, listen, mate, it's what the judges are seeing. It's not what you're feeling you're doing. Every time you get on them fucking ropes, he's picking off little points, all right? Breathe. Listen, straight shots, mate, and you've got to move. You ain't spun off once yet, all right? You've got to spin off, move, get off, and keep him long range, all right? Keep it strong. You've got to do it, mate, all right? You've got to get up them fucking ropes. That's better. There you go. Good boy. You know, I think he might have got it. I don't know. Oh, come on, please. He caught the more cleaner shots, didn't he? Come on.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. The result of our number 17 by majority decision, the winner of London ABAE Senior
Come on, please, please.
Mellish.
Yes! Yes! Oh, quality, mate. Well done.
Hey, look at you. Look at you.
I'm fucking well pleased, man. It's fucking... Nice one, Brian. Yeah. Feel good? Thanks a lot. Oh. Yeah.
Can I have 2 fudge cakes and 1 carrot cake, please? Yes, please.
Both Del and myself are both impressed with it. Should you decide that you want to turn professional, I'd like to think it'd be with us, and I'd like to think that you know, we could take you on to the next level in your life, so to speak, because it is a difference. I'll take you round to see the different promoters, yeah, if that's what you want, yeah. I'm willing to be your manager, again, if that's what you want. That's your decision, not mine. And Del and myself are willing to be your trainers, if that's what you want. Okay?
How do ticket sales then work then? How much does like the promoter get, or would that be better?
What happens is every promoter will ask you, the first thing they ask you is not can you fight, can you sell tickets?
How many tickets you
That's the
sell?
first thing they ask you. Horrible thing, but it's the truth. I'm telling you the truth, yeah? They'll want to know how many tickets you can sell. They want to hear minimum of 100, right? If it's £35 a ticket, a minimum of 100 gives them £3.5 grand. So I would think 3 to 4 grand would be a starting point for you, I would think. Out of that, you'd have to pay 10% management and 10% trainers fees.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
This ain't the promotional, this is just management.
Yeah, no,
right?
it's fun.
Take it home with you, talk to your mum and dad and blah, blah, blah. Next week when you come back in, if you're happy, we'll sign it, we'll get you sent off, and we'll sort the rest of it out. Looking to get you started in September.
You know, I've been reading a book about Marvin Hagler as well, and he started off on $40. So, you know, now look at him now, Manny Pacquiao as well, the same sort of thing. He was fighting for bloody food, so, you know, he's gone on to be world title. But I'm not really thinking too much about the money thing now. I'm just sort of thinking of how I can make my career better. Just got to think of the boxing, and I've got to get into my frame of mind. I'm a prospect at the end of the day. I'm not a journeyman, so yeah. That's what I want to be, a champion, innit? At the end of the day, hold titles and stuff, not just to get a big payday on, I think. So yeah.
I'll go and play a charity football match today. I'll have a different pair of boots for once. David A, Billy Joe Saunders, Kevin Mitchell, Frankie Gavin, James DeGale. Oh, there's going to be loads of people there, but the one I'm most excited about is Ricky Hutton.
I never really took boxing too serious at first. I just went down to the local boxing gym with a few of my pals, and to be honest, I only went down because I wanted to fight in the end, you know, just like you are when you're a little, you know, little tearaway, little youngster. But then as I got into it, you know, and I learned to like it, you know, and it's all about respecting your gym members and your partners, and it started off as a hobby for me. I had so many great times as an amateur. I mean, I won 8 national titles, boys clubs, school boys, junior ABAs. I won the senior ABAs. Just got, you know, you just got to take the rough with the smooth. You know, I mean, you have the good times and the bad times. You know, you need no matter how hard you work and how talented you are, you need a little bit of luck along the way.
And just an update. Pitch number 1, Paul Smith, pickpockets, currently undefeated by all 3 of their games.
George, you getting ready? We're going now.
We're going to look at the Repton club, like set up a meeting and that. It will be like weird going in there and that, but it's come to the point now where it's like either sort of move club like to a bigger club or turn pro, and like I don't want to turn pro just yet, so I just hope that Repton can bring me on.
I personally can't offer George anything down the times. There's nobody down there with that experience that can offer him anything to improve him, and well, Repton's actually the nearest one to us, and obviously that's the best one, I think, out of the 3 that we had in mind.
I'm just going to go and do my knowledge runs to become a taxi driver. I did want to go pro in that, and then there was something about it that just didn't really feel right. I just didn't feel I was like ready. I think the business side of things as well, I think that kind of just annoyed me, you know, not knowing what's going on, you know, contracts and stuff like that, you know, that kind of just bothered me a little bit, you know, and I just thought, you know, I need to, you know, have a proper job. I joined the Repton Boxing Club like a month after George, I think it was, yeah. You know, yeah, I just like it down there. I mean, there's also a possibility I could be boxing internationally, like, you know, get a bit of international experience. George has gone to Cyprus, he's gone to Nigeria, so he was saying, you know, that he's, you know, learning a lot. I feel to do the same thing, really, innit? So it's just if I don't have any more setbacks and that, I think I'll be going away as well.
We've got kids who have boxed all over the world. We've got kids who have boxed
in the Olympic Games. I've been to 11 Olympic Games, Commonwealth Games, European Games, the World Games, you know. And obviously, their idea is to turn professional. But they don't want to go and just turn pro for the sake of turning professional, you know.
Push, push, push! 3 shots, 5 shots, 3 shots, 5 shots! In that end, Josh, take too long, baby!
I might not have done a lot of favours for myself when I was 15. I come right through. I was winning like championships and that. You know what I mean? I done quite well, and like everyone sort of half talking about me, ran London or whatever. And you know, sometimes like you can't expect to bring that up through the levels all the time. You know what I mean? I'm at obviously ABAE standard. That's the highest standard. So obviously the kids are a lot better, and you know the fights ain't going to be as one-sided as they were.
I don't think they're ready yet. They're both improved. They're both improving, and they'll improve all the time, you know. And if they stick to what they're taught and they do what they're told, they will succeed.
I miss being in George's corner. I miss being in Marlon's corner. You know, like I sort of basically they're the two most successful boys that the Times have ever had. You know, and I've said it always that it feels like you've won yourself, and you know to have that, that's the best thing that's ever happened to me in boxing. All people have arguments in life, you know what I mean, and. Me and George are going through a little bit at the moment, but you know we talk. It's, you know, we just ain't been as close as we have been. You know, we've been in each other's shadow most of the time. You know, let him do. I've got other things that I sort of get on with now, and George got his things what he gets on with. But you know, I'll be there when he fights. I'll be there, always be there, and. You know, as I say, if he needs me for anything, he only got to ask, and I'm there.
Marlon makes a strong start in the green and yellow of Repton. By the end of the season, Boxing News will rank Marlon 5th in the country in his weight division. George wins his Senior Open title at the 3rd attempt, beating a Great Britain team member along the way. Two years since his one and only appearance for his country. It's unlikely he'll get another shot.
Tonight is the professional debut. I'm getting a slot on the first show at the Copperbox Arena in front of like 8,000 people, live on TV. I just cannot wait to get in there. It's like, it just feels like I'm dreaming. The way that I'd kind of explain it is like the amateurs, it's sort of like being in school. You've got boundaries, you've got rules, you're in a school building kind of thing. But with the pros, it's sort of like when you finish secondary school and you let out into the real world, you know, it's a lot more, I don't know, it's hard to explain, but not as protected, if you know what I mean.
When I started going to like pro gyms, they painted a different image to me about the pro game. I just thought, this ain't what I want to be about, man. This seems like a job. It felt like I was on a construction site, like, you know, we was all labourers there or something, and, you know, we all just work, we were all there to work, and that's what I think made a bit of a difference. You know, this is serious stuff. And then I just kind of got a bit more disheartened by it. It just, and then it started reflecting on my personal life. Like, I just didn't enjoy my personal life, just because I just thought this thing's just taking up everything, every little bit of my life.
What's happening now is everything I dreamed of and more. It's different for this one. Like, nerves are like sort of translated in excitement. The whole of this community is behind me. Literally all of them are coming. That's what I've been told. I've sold the most tickets on the show. I'm sort of thinking, like, why me? Why does everyone want to come and watch me? But it's so humbling and a big motivation for me, do you know what I mean, to show these people what I can do, you know, and hopefully be a product of my environment in a positive way.
It just takes for a couple of people just to believe in you, just to say like, wow, you're good. After a while, I started becoming like the best in the club. You'd be sparring man, and then you'd be telling your mates, so yeah, you beat someone up that was 26. They'll be like, what? Mate, you're only 15. They'll laugh about it. I mean, with me, I just kind of went along with it, but then I just started getting addicted to it. I remember being on the day of the fight, just being absolutely drained, like. But I was so obsessed with making that weight, you don't hardly eat. I mean, sometimes I would just starve myself. I remember people saying to me, like, you're anorexic and what you're doing, it ain't right and everything. But in your mind, mentally, you believe that it is. So you just carry on going. You're just thinking, fuck, I don't care what you're talking about.
When people sometimes say it's the taking part that counts, no, it's not. It's winning's everything. I can avoid being a journeyman by boxing to my ability and doing what I do in the gym, by getting them W's every time and just living the life, really.
And box your way out like that. Let's go, guys. 4 in here. Guys on the bag, just doing the normal routine that we normally do.
I was thinking maybe doing PTing for a couple of years, getting the experience, and then becoming a health and fitness manager, then probably becoming a GM after that, and then that will get me the experience of actually running a gym, managing your whole staff and everything.
So you see how I am? I've got the shape there, because you've got to think, you're just throwing a big one like that.
I still love boxing, it's just that I just ain't got that, I just can't do that routine again. That routine was just mad for me.
When I just know it's the right time, like I wake up in the morning, I know, and it's now. I'm so headstrong and focused. I feel that I was born for this.
I always got the feeling I probably wouldn't have had no one come to my fight. I used to just feel like I would have no one even be there. It's a popularity contest, I think, as well. If you're liked and if you're the way you fight, it's liked, people are going to go to your fights, you can sell a lot of tickets, and I think that's what Georgie's got, and it works for him. he does the results as well as put on a good performance.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Bam, bam, bam. That's it. And again.
It's gutting, you know. We always try and get Marlon back in the gym every time we see him, so I was kind of hoping tonight he would see all the glitz and glamour, if you like, and sort of fancy a bit of that. But, you know, like I say to people that can't make it on this one, it's not just going to start and finish tonight. I'm kind of at the bottom of a mountain, and I will climb to the top.
Enjoy. Give this reception. That's all for you, George. Listen to that.